Have been hospitalised following those violent clashes at Pretoria's Loftus Versfeld Stadium during the Absa Premiership match between Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. 2 people were treated at the scene. They allegedly refused to go to hospital. Police spokesperson K. Makubela could not confirm reports of any deaths. Spectators dispersed peacefully after the earlier chaotic scenes on the pitch. The trouble started after Pirates conceded a 6th goal with 8 minutes left before stoppage time.
What I've seen today, it's disappointing, as a supporter, and it's very, very disappointing. I'm not happy, to see supporters getting into the stadium, beating coaches and beating the other fighting each other.
As a Baron fan, I'm very, very, very disappointed about what happened today. Because I was here to watch the game, but what happened today, it was so very disappointing. But let's hope it's not going to happen again.
We are so disappointed today as Masana Wana supporters because we won the game, but with regard to our opponent supporters, we are not happy at all. I think the PSL, they must improve the security.
And now SABC football analyst Kujo Amankwaa joins me in studio. Hello and thank you very much for joining us on your wall, sir.
Hola, thank you very much for having me on your show.
Now, could this have been avoided?
Yes, it could have been avoided, but I guess we've been a bit complacent because it hasn't happened. The last time it happened was a game between Orlando Pirates and Bloemfontein Celtic at Orlando, where the Bloemfontein Celtic, in a similar fashion, attacked the Orlando Pirates fans, and there was calamity. In fact, the league got the footage of the episode and looked through very carefully and banned some fans from coming to the games. And I think in this instance, a similar measure should be taken to maybe identify the culprits who started all the calamity and chaos and ensure that they are banned from the game, because we don't need this type of scenes and scenarios in our game. South Africa in 2010 hosted the best World Cup ever as declared by the then President Sepp Blatter. And 7 years along the line, in a modern day era, in a PSL era, we don't need this type of scenarios.
Kujo, but can we blame the fans for being as angry as they were?
It is incumbent upon us as analysts and commentators and journalists and all stakeholders within the game to educate our fans. Football is a sport. We are enemies only 90 minutes on the pitch. Even when they came to the game to finish the last 10 minutes of the game, you saw Anthony Lafort joking with Okwaosu. The players are friends. And if the players who are playing and scoring against each other are friends, why should the fans become enemies? Why should we go to war? We go into this game because it's something we love, it's our passion, and we must learn to understand that there are 3 scenarios in a game. You either got beaten and beaten mercilessly, or you draw, or you lose. Lose, win, and draw. And if you understand and take that in a sportsmanship atmosphere, then in my view, there's no need for you to go on to the point of fighting and hurting each other and injuring one another. It's not a sportsmanship behavior. The country is in a very critical stage. Everybody seems to be on the edge, and it's incumbent upon journalists in particular who convey messages to try and come up with programs to educate our fans that we go there to enjoy. And we enjoy 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, we come back home, sometimes in the same car. Sometimes we come back home, laughing together because it's watered under the bridge. We look forward to the next game.
And in today's game, before fans look forward to the next game, who were they attacking exactly when they stormed onto the stadium?
A very unacceptable behavior for me. A very sad day in the history of South African football. And at the end of the day, don't forget, the Premier Soccer League is one of the top 10 leagues in the world in terms of professionalism. It's the best league on the African continent. Hence, you find Sundowns have signed a player from Algeria. They've got the players from Colombia. They've got players from West Africa. They've got players all over the place. Jose Torreira came here from Venezuela. He played for Chiefs. He played for Sundowns. It's an indication of the stature of the league. And we can't have a scenario where, by virtue of the fact that one team is beaten to the pulp, the fans of that team invade the pitch. They can't take it anymore. For me, it's very unacceptable behavior, and it should be condemned in the strongest possible terms.
And irrespective of who they were attacking, you're saying it should be condemned?
It should be condemned because, one, the players who are the principal actors in the arena of football had run for 80 minutes. Do you understand what that means? You can throw a coin to hit their head and they can die from there. They were invading the pitch, and all the players together with the technical bench and the reserve players were running for cover. And that's what I fear the most. What could have happened? What would the headlines in the international media would have been tomorrow if a player had been trampled upon and lost his life? I'm very excited sitting here because none of that happened. Nevertheless, the scenarios we saw in fans invading the pitch after the 6th goal went in is something that we don't want to see. And all football people and all football stakeholders will condemn it in the strongest possible terms. And I'll issue a warning: if you are scared of the heat, don't go to the kitchen. As simple as that. If you're a football fan and you follow a team and you don't have the heart and the character to accept that today I was beaten hands down, today I was beaten.
Before you go to the
stadium. Before you go to the stadium,
know that you might lose.
If you don't know that you might lose and then lose your head and then commit certain atrocities that tarnish the image of the game, bring the entire footballing industry into disrepute, then don't go there. Because such people, in my view, are not needed in football. We need people in football who will win and lose and say hade and begin to hug after the regulation time to show that, yes, it's a game war on the field for 90 minutes, but after that, everything is watered under the bridge and we become one again. Football should not in any way drive us to hate each other to the point of fighting each other to the scenes that we saw. I was very, very unhappy, and I didn't see that one coming.
You say that we didn't see that one coming because it hasn't happened in such a long time in South Africa. But does this then now mean that there should be tighter security in our stadiums?
Yes, there should be tighter security, one. And again, the Premier Soccer League security, maybe, in my view, should be given an extra training to ensure that they are able to deal with crowds of such magnitude. From what I saw, the security was standing within the perimeters of the field. And if you look at advanced league elsewhere in Europe, the security are not on the field. Some are on the field, but some are within the crowd, so that they are able to monitor within the crowd itself. Should anything happen, they are able to deal with it then and then, because they've got the necessary experience and the technique of dealing with that. When you've got both the police and the PSS security and the club security of the day standing in the perimeters of the field, how do you control a crowd of such magnitude? And if you were inside and amongst them, it could have been anticipated. I could have been dealt with very swiftly.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Coach Amankwaa.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
All right. Now that's SABC football analyst, Coach Amankwaa, joining us there to talk about the situation that happened on the field of play in football in South Africa.